about the Grave Mine was the fact that it was, despite him being like, um, disgusted and everything. And by the way, whenever you get a chance, look what he looks like in Halo 2. The HD looks totally gross, but he was sophisticated.
Well, yeah. I mean, you're talking about a creature basically that's been around for many, 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 many thousands of years. Stuck in a hole with nowhere to go, and it's a collection of all the life forms and anything that's ever absorbed. So it has all this stuff in its head and sitting there talking to itself, basically. And like I say, I thought it was very interesting that it caught our two, big characters of the Covenant and the Flood, excuse me, the Covenant and USNC, and has them two together going, it's nice and everything, but I'm still going to absorb you, but, you guys are a bunch of clowns, fighting all together all the time. What's wrong with you? I thought that was very interesting.
One thing about the games that I wish they could have done a bit better when it came to the Grave Mine was the fact that there wasn't a resolution. Like there wasn't like a big boss battle. Like I would have loved to have seen that.
No, I think it was.
It's like you talk to him and you interact with him, but you don't directly fight him.
No, you don't. And I think it would be almost an impossible battle, really. I mean, fighting all the little pieces parts is one thing, but you're talking about, at least, in size-wise, I mean, he's massive.
Yeah,
and you really have nothing to fight him with, and it would have been a pointless battle. But I think the thing that they did with the Overmind was that you finally got to meet the sentient mass. I mean, all you thought was they were just mindless drones.
Mm-hmm.
And it turns out there's actually something behind it. There's something smart. Even though it looks pretty icky and slimy, and wow, I see the remake of it, and it does look creepy. I was like, what the heck is going on there?
They got to give it to them. They did a great design because that thing was gross.
Well, I wonder if even the other characters look as creepy as they do. I hate them little humans that get messed up and they turn into those weird looking things. Soldiers or troops or whatever. But that is very interesting what they did. But it just was a very interesting point of view that you've had the Covenant, you have the USNC fighting, and then you have this. The whole reason Halo existed was because of this thing.
Mm-hmm.
And you have a whole race of people who were so technologically advanced they still couldn't kick its butt, and basically said we're just going to do a failsafe and kill everything, and never got to do it.
That's commitment for you.
Yeah, we're going to blow everything away, save the whole world, screw ourselves because we started this mess, and we don't press the button.
But I will tell you something now that you haven't seen yet. When you get to Halo 4, it is going to tell you a pretty big twist concerning what happened back then in that war. Don't want to spoil it for you, but it's going to be a pretty big twist. And you'll be like, you know what? Wow.
In the gameplay itself?
I just say somebody gives you a bit of exposition.
I like those.
You're like, dang, okay. I see how all of this happened. It's a lot more that happened back then than you think.
Well, that's kind of like that series where they had, briefly mentioned the Forerunners and the whole concept of what the Forerunners did.
Yeah.
Was a whole, I could have watched the whole movie of just that.
Yeah.
Granted, I think it was only like a 15 or 20 minute, animated, piece of the whole puzzle, but it was so interesting because I wanted you want to know what the Flood were and why they were going through such extremes to get rid of them.
Mm-hmm.
And see it, and then we see in Halo 4 when we get a whole other group of them, trying to, basically continue doing what they started, thousands of years ago, and they're still cranking away, and they thought everything was done, but no, we're back in the back. Installation 3 now. That was the one that was there. Installation 3.
That's the one thing I do say that I really did appreciate, like the idea of the Flood. It's basically an unkillable race. Because you can destroy their numbers, but they take over everything. Like
exactly.
And when I say everything, I mean literally everything.
Anything that's organic, they possess. They took over.
Oh, they even possess stuff that's not organic. Like they can. That was one thing the Gravemind could do. What made him so special was he could interact with technology. Like he could integrate himself into the system. I read one of the books. It's called Halo Evolutions. I can't remember if it's the first one or the second one, because when you're playing part 3, you know that Cortana is trying to, like, you got this psychic link with Cortana. And you can tell she's like being tortured.
Yep.
So in that
information out of her.
Yeah. And in the Halo Evolution, they actually go into what was happening. Like, I mean, it was probably a non-canon story, but it was cool because you actually saw what she was going through. Her and the Gravemind were having this like game of chess going back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
And he was actually interacting with her through the technology. And I was like, that's pretty cool.
I like that. I like being able to get, I mean, even we know there's so many possibilities of stories in this series. Like I say, even just amongst the Forerunners, amongst the Flood, amongst the interaction with humans and the Covenant. I mean, there's just so much going on. And you put it all together and you follow the story and you still know that there's other stuff in there. That's where the books are great, because they come in and give you that, as you say, a fill-in.
Yeah.
What's been going on, what really happened. Give me the whole story. Give me the gossip. Let me know.
That's why I said I love it. They went ahead and adapted the rest of the games into just books. Give me some insight of what's going on with the characters, as well, like the main characters as well as the supporting ones. Like, I would love to see what's going through the Arbiter's mind, why he's dealing with what he's dealing with on Halo 2. I would like to see, like, him, Master Chief and the Arbiter's interactions in Halo 3,
yes,
as well as how the UNSC and the elites are doing what they're doing together, like the tension.
Yeah, because you had a fraction, you had a civil war within, the high clarity said, screw all y'all.
Yeah,
we're going for it. We're going for the big ball here, and split basically between the elites followed the one faction and the rest of the group goes with the other.
Yep.
And that would be an interesting storyline in itself too.
Let me ask you something. Okay, Halo 4 is where I guess they're trying to break off with the Master Chief and trying to tell another person's story. Spartan Locke, I like his character. I watched a little movie with him in it, and the movie was actually pretty cool. But do you think Halo would be, like, in terms of like the main story, do you think they could actually branch off and start telling it from another character's perspective?
If you got enough involvement, yes.
Because Reach wasn't about the Chief, but they did manage to have capture like good characters. Like, it felt like a Halo game without the Master Chief.
Exactly, and I think the Halo series could go on. I mean, Master Chief is a fundamental character. I mean, you just can't. Yes, you can have Halo without the Master Chief, because there's so many other stories there. I mean, they're still going to touch it somewhere and along the lines, but you could go with other characters. I mean, we've seen TV series do the same thing where they split. We have our main character, but we're going to kind of branch off and go our own way, kind of like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. right now, where you have your core crew, and then a couple of the core crew move on to doing the other side show. Yes.
Yeah.
Can you do Halo without Master Chief? Yes, you can. You can have, like I say, it's a story. I mean, we know the Master Chief is going to be involved in it, whether you physically see him or not. He is a key, integral part of the Halo world. But can you do a show without having him show his face in the thing? Absolutely, I believe you can.
I'm thinking more like
we can have a whole series about Spartans as a group.
I think that'd be pretty cool.
Spartan Generation 4s. Or, I think they were on 4s.
I wanted
or the whole recruiting process of Spartans, basically starting, you could go through school, recruiting, implementation, training, and run with the Spartan, as a functional group. Sure.
I would love to see. That was one of the reasons I haven't got 5 yet, because I was so hesitant about that. It was like, because I heard a review. And on the review, they said it's about Master Chief, and Cortana, but you don't play as them. And I was like, okay, I can deal with that. Now, what kind of got me, what kind of did disappoint me though, I ain't gonna lie, was they said that most of the game you play is Locke and his crew, but you only play with Master Chief for like two campaigns. And I'm like, why they just didn't split the story up?
They wanted to pit one against the other, basically the storyline. I think it was really to see if they could carry on without the Master Chief. I think. Yeah. I mean, you're bringing in the next, the new generation, the next kids on the block.
Yeah.
To see. And I'd say you can. I mean, ODST had nothing to do with Master Chief, really, at that point. Yeah. It was all.
And a lot of people didn't like ODST, but I actually thought it was pretty good. I thought it was
it's Halo ODST, Halo Reach, basically might as well have been the same thing because it's the same planet. Except you had the Spartan program was more highlighted in Reach.
And ODST was more about the people.
Yeah, it was more about the original crew, the original people who first ran smack into the Covenant and all their stuff that was going on. So there's a lot of stuff going on, and I like the side stories, and I could work with side stories, even in side story games.
Yeah.
Much like ODST and Reach were. I mean, that's no problem with that. Keep true to the story, but you can have all your side stories. Let's see a group of UNSC soldiers fighting the Covenant. Let's see the fight from the Covenant side. And they're, we have the elites. We know that they didn't agree with the war. Not every group did. Elites particularly are the ones that led the Civil War between them. So
I want
there's a lot of stories there.
What would you like to see in Halo 6? Because it's coming. Like I said, despite what people had mixed reviews on Halo 5, I'm still somewhat interested in playing it because I want to keep up with the story. But I still feel like Locke and his crew aren't strong enough. I'm not saying that they have to be up to par with Chief in them, but it just feels like he doesn't feel like enough of a prominent character. Maybe because he's so out of the blue. Maybe if it was another character that like Palmer, I think that's what her name was. Palmer was in Halo 4. And you got to kind of see what you kind of got to kind of gauge her character because she's a Spartan.
Yep.
And it was like, okay, if the game picks up with her looking for Master Chief, you can kind of see it because you know her character already.
Well, I mean, I don't know how many people have played 5, but just briefly reading back and recapping my brain on what I remember reading before. There definitely will be a 6.
Yeah.
And what I would like to see out of 6 is I kind of see what's going to happen in 6. It's basically going to be Cortana and AIs versus humanity and anybody else. Is what it looks like.
I mean, that was pretty big shocker.
Granted, Forerunner technology didn't quite, work with her, and her brain's already kind of jacked up anyway because she's at the end of her lifetime. So, but it's going to be, the Master Chief trying to do what's right, trying to persuade her. So I would expect to see probably the end of Cortana, either having her character resolved and fixed or sacrificing herself, kind of like the bad guy turns good guy at the very last second.
Yeah, pull a Doc Ock off Spider-Man too.
Yeah, Doc Ock. I love that movie. That's one of my favorite ones in that series.
It is.
I love Dr. Octopus in there.
This is one thing I watched a little sequence where I said, well, I'm gonna get on game on some of what happened in 5 so I can at least know what happened. And I was like, okay, so Master Chief does find Cortana. And I watched it, and it wasn't. I don't think it wasn't as emotionally compelling as I thought it would have been. Like, it was a bit emotional, but it wasn't like. It's like I wish they would have worked on the writing a little bit better, because when she was thought to be dead, it was I felt it. It was like, oh man, these two characters have been through the works. and they had just and all of a sudden now she's gone, and they've been through all these games together. But then I watched, I was watching, I was like, it's cool that this is happening now. Okay, she's apparently bad. I could get, but it doesn't feel like she did like a dick move or anything.
Excuse me.
Maybe if she was like, maybe if Chief was like with some people or something, and then she like killed him off or something like that. I don't know. It just didn't feel like I didn't feel like the emotional.
You didn't have the characters bond as we had. I mean,
it didn't touch on it enough.
Yeah, they I don't know. Like I say, I don't know if they're just trying to wind down the series or. I don't know. I mean, I definitely see a 6. I definitely kind of see where it's going to go. The question is, how do they want to end it? Will the Master Chief hang up his reins off Cortana some way, or take her with him? One last final act of friendship, love, whatever you want to call it. To save the world, he takes them both out. I mean, there's a lot of different ways that story could go. It'd be interesting.
And another thing I think it is that kind of got me was in the Halo 5, they made it seem like, okay, it was basically Locke versus Master Chief, right?
And 5?
Yeah.
Well, the Master Chief is basically standing against his orders to come back in, and he's going to try to save Cortana, basically. So I mean, that's why they send the other team after him.
But that's what's got me. That didn't feel like strong enough. If Matt, okay, I can understand Locke going after Chief because he has to get this rogue Spartan. Okay, I can understand that. If Chief had to do something that would actually threaten the world to get Cortana back, I could have understood a little bit better. But it didn't feel like that. It felt like, well, since you don't want to come back with me, I have to beat you up so you can come back with me. It wasn't like Chief made it seem like he turned bad. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I think that's where they were trying to go with the story. What? Chief was bad? What?
That's what the whole hype was. They made it seem like Chief actually was bad. So I was like, oh, man, I hated they did that. But like I said, I am interested in still playing that game. And as far as Halo 6 is concerned, what would I like to see? I would like to. They need to work on the story again. You can't put out 4 and then come out with the rest of these, and the story ain't strong like that, like emotionally strong.
Yeah, I think that's. You had emotional involvement in the story. I mean, if you went and read, what the back history of Master Chief, you're like, holy crap, geez, the things that they were doing, atrocities that were done in the name of war, to justify something that happened. And that brings you into the Master Chief story. And then you get involved with Cortana, who is an AI who really comes into her own in her very short lifespan of like 8 to 10 years, give or take, for AIs. Who goes with this guy, in thick and thin, develops. They have their own relationship, however you want to justify or call it. They have a relationship. They are bonded together, on a very close level. Even though she's physically not, there's no body, but spiritually wise, they're combined as one.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think a lot of that, as you see the story, that's what keeps everything together. And you get that emotional attachment. And then you jump into you understand that, his care and concern for Cortana. Granted, she's again not human, but he still has that attachment. He's going to try, do whatever it takes to save her.
Mm-hmm.
He did the same thing back in 3. Whatever it takes, I'm going to do it.
Too. 3 definitely was the one that you can actually see that these two had something on.
Yeah, you feel it. You get involved in the story. No matter what's going on, you know that they are there for each other, and they will do anything to save themselves, for each other. And that's how it goes. And, just reading on the story plot on 5, it's just like, Yeah, Chief was going